Hey friends, welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I'm Nate, and today we're going to start an advent calendar. Today is going to be December 1st, and I'm going to do a 24-day advent calendar. I'm going to shoot a couple of these at a time so I have them to push out and I don't have to do one a day. Just makes it more convenient for me. But I went online and I did some searching for a whiskey advent calendar, and I came up with Drinks by the Dram, the whiskey advent calendar. It's got 24 whiskeys in it. It is an international advent calendar, so I'll probably get some American, some other things. Again, sorry if you can hear the fan. Still working on it. But these are going to be, it's 24 whiskeys in 30 milliliter sample bottles. And today is going to be day one. And today is going to be Aerolite Lyndsay. Aerolite, A-E-R-O-L-I-T-E. Lyndsay, L-Y-N-D-S-A-Y. This is 10-year-old. And it comes from the character of Islay Whiskey Company. So this is a single malt Scotch whiskey, which means that it comes from one single distillery. That's what single means. Malt means that it's made from 100% malted barley, and then it's from Scotch. It's Scotch, so it comes from Scotland. It is 46% ABV. I did a little bit of research, and so we know that Islay has currently 8 distilleries on it. This is a sourced Islay whiskey from one of those distilleries. It does not say who it is, but their website does give a couple notes that somebody who knows a little bit more about each distillery might be able to pick up on who it is. And maybe I will be able to off of the nose and the palate, even though I'm newer to trying to pick that stuff up. One distillery in particular I can pick up pretty well. So, I'll close the laptop, I'm not going to use those anymore. Aerolite Lyndsay, 10-year-old. Character of Islay Whiskey Company. Let's open this up. And I did this on the day 2 shoot. I shot day 2 first because you'll watch that video hopefully tomorrow. But this is Islay, and day 3 is also an Islay, and day 2 is not. So I didn't want to ruin the palate with Islay, non-Islay, Islay. That wouldn't have been so good. So let's get this thing open. Again, light on color. For those of you that are pretty specific to bourbon or American whiskey, this is going to be pretty light for you, but this is pretty typical of Scotch whiskey. It usually does not get as, say for example, I also shot this along with the Jack Daniel's 10-year, and this is Jack Daniel's 10, see how beautiful that color is, and this is the Scotch. The color difference is insane. But that's normal for Scotch. Oh, wow. So I'm definitely Islay. Definitely getting the peat smoke, which I'm a peat head. I love it. Last week, one of my birthday pours was an Octomore, which is marketed as the most heavily peated Scotch whiskey in the world. They have different batches, the peat levels are different, but I have one of those bottles. Be sure to check that video out. Peat, getting it's kind of both floral and fruity at the same time. Maybe a little citrusy. Maybe raspberry, which is weird because I actually don't care for raspberries. Not the taste, it's just the fact that seeds get stuck in my mouth. So I don't dislike raspberries, I just am indifferent to them because of, they make my, I don't like that. But I'm kind of getting that, maybe like a buttered toffee. I'm getting a butteriness, which is kind of indicative of Irish, but it's not the same. Buttery. Not creamy though. Like, I understand that butter can be creamy, but butter is different than cream. But it's a buttery creaminess, not like a cream. So I cannot tell off the nose what distillery this is. And obviously we're not going to find out because it's sourced and they don't disclose that. Let's give this a taste. Thin. That's okay. What's interesting about a Scotch and Irish whiskey is that compared to, say, American whiskey, bourbon, bourbon and rye, putting them at lower proofs, 40 to 45, can sometimes be a little bit of a disadvantage. And can sometimes, a lot of people don't like that. And that sometimes is a mood thing. For me, it's a mood thing. But when it comes to Scotch and Irish, you're actually going to find a lot of them are going to be almost exactly at 40%. Day 3's whiskey is exactly 40%. But the whiskey internationally, Scotch and Irish, actually holds up at that proof point just because I guess different climates, mash bills might be a little bit different. They age it a little differently. I believe this has both, from the website, I apologize, I'm not going to open my laptop again, but this has both used bourbon and sherry wine cask. It's good, just it disappeared and it's gone, but I'm get the lingering of the peat, maybe a little bit, that actually might even be gone too. Definitely get malt, maybe a little dusty malt, maybe a little, it's 10 years, so it's not young. Although in Scotland, 10-12 is usually like their entry level ages, if they're going to age state it, whereas in America, bourbon is usually like 6 to 8, and whereas in Scotland, usually 10 to 12 is that entry level age. Yeah, it's not sweet. Typically, and a lot of people that love bourbon sometimes don't like malt Scotch because it's really not sweet like bourbon is, because corn is sweet, where malted barley isn't really not. Definitely more kind of a meatiness to it, but not like an Ardbeg. Ardbeg can be really, really meaty. This is not really meaty. It's more hearty. Which I got on the Octomore. I don't think this is Bruichladdich though. That's good. I like it. Spoiler alert though, because I'm batch shooting these, I prefer day 2s over this. But this is good. So that's going to do it for day 1 of the Whiskey Advent Calendar, December 1st. Hope you're gearing up for the holidays. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to watch. These videos are coming out December 1st through December 21st. So be sure to watch. I'm really excited. Cheers.